Yo, what it is, YouTube? Is your boy DC coming back with another bullseye video here today on the channel. I'm gonna show y'all how to get a perfect vocal sound. So if y'all do like this video, don't forget to make sure you're double check and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of these gems. Let's get to listening to the track that we got here today.
Raggiarmi ma son troppo stubborn, tutti sanno che sono stubborn, fanno gossip, non ascolto, sono stubborn, voglio scoraggiarmi ma son troppo stubborn. Rabaye, carry me far away, anywhere Canada, make you just carry me far away.
All right, you guys got a general understanding of what we're working here with today. And also, you got to always think when it comes to trying to get the perfect vocal in 2026, you want to ask yourself, what is going to make this vocal perfect for this song? Because perfection always changes every single song, okay? So sometimes the perfect pair of shoes to go with the black pants is maybe like the black Air Forces, or the perfect pair of white pants to go with this shirt is a different color. It's always switching every time with a different outfit. All right, so let's look at the vocal chain.
Raggiarmi ma son troppo stubborn, tutti sanno che sono stubborn, fanno gossip, non ascolto, sono stubborn, voglio scoraggiarmi ma son
I have a bunch of free presets on my website that can help you guys get started out leveling up your vocal channel, your vocal sound. So check the link down below, you can get that. All right, so most importantly, let's look at what we had here to start. We had something like the Neve 1073, already knowing that the Neve 1073 is like breakfast. I like to use it early on because it's going to give me some toasted waffles. It's going to toast the vocals a little bit with a little bit of that transistor love, okay guys?
Raggiarmi ma son troppo stubborn, tutti sanno, guardo alle spalle, massimo rispetto per i miei bro. On God, we don't dey level up, on God, che sia chiaro, ma poi separo, Kilimanjaro.
So very basic here. The only thing I went for is like an air band, pretty much, So like I said, just bringing in a little bit of that breakfast, toasty morning style frequency. That's what we got there. All right. And then after that, I used the basic REQ to actually start doing some of the real EQ work.
Guardo alle spalle, massimo rispetto per i miei bro. On God, we don't dey level up, on God, che sia chiaro, ma poi separo. Kilimanjaro, sei ignaro dei miei sacri.
So understanding the harmonic density area of the Neve 1073, it has the transformer, which is going to give more body. So now we're trying to sculpt that body by doing a little bit of a shelf in the low mid, and maybe taking out a little bit of mid-range that we don't like to hear.
Guardo alle spalle, massimo rispetto per i miei bro. On God, we don't dey level up, on God, che sia chiaro, ma poi separo. Kilimanjaro, sei ignaro dei miei sacrifici, per vedere i miei genitori felici. Questo è la bici, bevo acqua Fiji. My bro, don't worry, you see me on TV. Hello, Habibi, massimo rispetto per i miei bro. On God.
After that, I use the Faraday limiter to help it kind of sit back in the mix, because as you can see, based on the waveform, sometimes there's little parts of the vocal that kind of jump out a little bit. So I love to use a limiter because limiters have higher ratios, which means it's not going to consistently compress the vocal. It's just going to do it when there's like these little peaks and troughs, and kind of like be a dermatologist and smooth out the bumps, be a barber with the clippers and kind of just smooth out the fade, And after that, we have Weiss de-esser. We already know what that does. And then I use the pop vocal C4 just to clear out the mid-range.
Guardo alle spalle, massimo rispetto per i miei bro. On God, we don't dey level up, on God, che sia chiaro, ma poi separo. Kilimanjaro, sei ignaro dei miei sacrifici, per vedere i miei genitori felici. Questo è la bici, bevo acqua Fiji. My bro.
So you hear it kind of brought like a real aggressiveness. Then I use a CLA 76. And I actually used it. I didn't use it on saturation mode where, I use the parallel knob and turn off the compressor. I just used it as a regular compressor just to really like clamp down the vocal a little bit. And of course, it's adding some more distortion characteristics.
Guardo alle spalle, massimo rispetto per i Nessuno vede, can't you see vecchia romaia nel mio bicchiere? Continuo a bere, ma mamma e papà te mi say na only God be the way. Sono stubborn, lo sanno tutti che sono stubborn. Fanno gossip, non li ascolto. Sono stubborn, voglio scoraggiarmi ma
So by just basically understanding like the density area of a plugin, you see how I was able to do damn near like an EQ move, making it sound like I added presence, making it sound like I looked in the mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the crispiest vocal of them all, and I was able to bring out a little bit more of that presence in the vocal by just knowing, okay, the 76 is gonna add more distortion onto it, and I'm gonna tap it a couple dBs. All right. After that, we have the C6 because of course there's gonna be some harshness that comes out of it.
nessuno vede, can't you see vecchia romaia nel mio bicchiere? Continuo a bere, ma mamma e papà te mi say na only God be the way. Sono stubborn, lo sanno tutti che sono stubborn. Fanno gossip, non li ascolto. Sono stubborn, voglio scoraggiarmi ma sono troppo stubborn. Stubborn, tutti sanno che sono stubborn. Fanno gossip, non ascolto. Sono nessuno vede, can't you see vecchia romaia nel mio bicchiere? Continuo a bere, ma mamma e papà te mi say na only God be the way. Sono stubborn, lo sanno tutti che sono stubborn.
Something else that you should also be aware of is try to use the plugin like metric A/B flip back and forth because there might be some characteristics in the vocal, the original vocal, that the artist actually likes, or if it's you that's the artist, make sure you kind of stay on that same dirt road. Okay, you want to stay on the highway. You don't want to take the turnpike or the freeway. All right. And veer off. So yeah, I use the C6 to take out some distortion, some nasty frequencies.
Nessuno vede, can't you see vecchia romaia nel mio bicchiere? Continuo a bere, ma mamma e papà te mi say na only God be the way. Sono stubborn, lo sanno tutti che sono stubborn. Fanno gossip, non li ascolto.
And then like all of that, probably like a little bit of the high end that I lost, I kind of added it back. So I kind of like took off some sugar from the banana, but then I added like brown sugar, a different type of sweetness.
Nessuno vede, can't you see vecchia romaia nel mio bicchiere? Continuo a bere, ma mamma e papà te mi say na only God be the way. Sono stubborn, lo sanno tutti che sono stubborn. Fanno gossip, non li ascolto. Sono stubborn, voglio.
And I like how this plugin is intelligent. It's kind of like a situation where it's leapfrogging over the harshness and knows, oh, the harshness is coming, let me duck that down because it's calibrated based off of like white noise or whatever. Like it knows what's harsh to our ears, so it says, oh man, there's some harshness coming, I'm not gonna boost that. Okay, all right, so let's look.
Nessuno vede, can't you see vecchia romaia nel mio bicchiere? Continuo a bere, ma mamma e papà te mi say na only God be the way. Sono stubborn, lo sanno tutti che sono stubborn. Fanno gossip, non li ascolto. Sono stubborn, voglio scoraggiarmi ma sono troppo stubborn. Stubborn, tutti sanno che sono stubborn. Fanno gossip, non ascolto. Sono stubborn, voglio scoraggiarmi ma sono troppo.
Then I wanted this vocal to feel gritty because he's talking about stubborn. And when I think about stubbornness, I think about like if a barbecue piece of meat is it's a stubborn piece of meat, it's something that's tough, it has edge. So I used the capitator to recreate that feeling that I was already feeling in my mind. So you need to use your ear imagination.
Nessuno vede, can't you see vecchia. Conosco G che mi coprono le spalle, anche quelli da cui mi guardo alle spalle. Massimo rispetto per i miei bro. On God, we don't dey level up. On God, che sia chiaro, ma poi se paro. Kilimangiaro, sei ignaro dei miei sacrifici per vedere i miei genitori felici. Questo è la bici, bevo acqua Fiji. My bro, don't worry, you will see me on TV. Hello, Habibi. Massimo rispetto per i miei bro. On God, we don't dey level up. E ne sai di quando son solo, quello che affronto, che nessuno vede. Can't you see vecchia romaia nel mio bicchiere? Continuo a bere, ma mamma e papà te mi say na only God be the way. Sono stubborn, lo sanno tutti che sono stubborn. Fanno gossip, non li ascolto. Sono stubborn, voglio scoraggiarmi ma
So you hear the life it's bringing. And then the spiff was just to take out the transients because it's an auto-tune vocal, and then when you start compressing, distorting all these things, it starts to get a little poppy, clicky, glitchy. You want to take that out.
Can't you see vecchia romagna nel mio bicchiere? Continuo a bere, ma mamma e papà te mi say now only God be the way. Sono stubborn, lo sanno tutti che sono stubborn. Fanno gossip.
I use that subtly just to make auto-tune vocals sound smooth. Like I want the auto-tune to be smooth, you know? Then I just use these two plugins to smooth out the vocal even more, using a little bit of tape, knowing it's gonna round off my high end and a little bit of soothe.
Can't you see vecchia romagna nel mio bicchiere? Continuo a bere, ma mamma e papà te mi say now only God be the way. Sono stubborn, lo sanno tutti che sono stubborn. Fanno gossip, non li ascolto. Sono stubborn, voglio scoraggiarmi ma sono troppo stubborn. Stubborn, tutti sanno che sono stubborn. Fanno gossip, non ascolto. Sono stubborn.
And then I use the C-Suite Vox, which is a really dope plugin, especially when you have somebody who sent you a vocal and you feel like, man, you know, this vocal just kind of feels noisy a little bit. And the noise will start to add up too. When you start sending it to a reverb delay, you'll start to be like, oh, I couldn't hear the noise before. Now something just making this vocal feel less clean. All right. So that's another reason why I love to use the C-Suite Vox, because it just is one of the most natural sounding noise suppressor plugins. And of course, for my parallel compression, because I wanted clarity, I picked the TubeTech CL1B. I like the density area with this one, and it just gives a nice high mid presence.
Can't you see vecchia romagna nel mio bicchiere? Continuo a bere, ma mamma e papà te mi say now only God be the way. Sono stubborn, lo sanno tutti che sono stubborn. Fanno gossip, non li ascolto. Sono stubborn, voglio scoraggiarmi ma sono troppo stubborn. Stubborn, tutti sanno che sono stubborn. Fanno gossip, non ascolto. Sono stubborn, voglio scoraggiarmi ma sono troppo stubborn.
So that's very important with the vocal chain. What I always do is, as I'm building up my vocal chain, I'm going back and forth between the rough, because there could be some possibly nice elements inside of the rough mix that I do want to preserve. Maybe I hear a certain distortion sound, maybe I hear like a certain gritty sound, or a certain smoothness, or a certain way the auto tune kind of quirks, or a certain way the compression kind of pumps, that, you know, is a tattoo onto the way the vocal is sounding. So this is pretty much the end of the video here today. Don't make sure you double check that you guys are subscribed to the channel. Don't miss out on none of these videos. And on top of that, you know, check the links down below to support the channel, and, you know, go grab those free presets because they're there. You know, a lot of the times these sessions, I'll take it and I'll make like a free preset pack out of it. So go to my website, you'll see it there. And I will see you guys next time. Appreciate you, YouTube gang. Peace.